So, my buddy Deion's back at it again with the public appearances. Look, we've talked about this with Deion before. There are some obvious advantages for Deion pretty much putting everything he does on the internet. There's some advantages there, there's some disadvantages too. You can decide which one this is, or maybe it's neither. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. But this was in an interview, I believe. So this wasn't something like that he put out himself on TikTok or whatever, like he normally does, or what. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's asked about recruiting, in general, and he talks a little bit about that, and then he's asked specifically about what he looks for when it comes to recruiting, and he gave an interesting answer. He talked about certain position groups on the team, and then a certain type of kid that he looks for certain positions. And I'll give you a couple of examples here. I want to focus on the one, though. Defensive linemen. He talked about recruiting defensive linemen who come from broken homes because they've had to fight for everything and they're used to and all like that. Okay. It sounds a little strange, that he worded it that way, whatever. But anyway, when it comes to quarterbacks, Deion said when it comes to quarterbacks, one of the things he looks for is that a kid that comes from a two-parent household. And he went on to name some other things too. Smart. If there happen to be a coach's kid, that's even better. He prefers quarterbacks whose dad was their coach. But he said he prefers quarterbacks who come from two-parent households. Now, what's interesting to me about that statement is that Deion Sanders' current quarterback, who he brought with him from Jackson State to Colorado, did not come from a two-parent household. I'm not here to say there's anything right or wrong with a two-parent household versus one-parent household. Look, I know plenty of kids who live in a two-parent household whose parents ain't worth a shit, either one of them. And I know plenty of kids who come from one-parent households who are great kids. I know plenty of adults who came from two-parent households who didn't turn out that well. And I know plenty of adults who came from broken homes or one-parent households, however you want to put it, that turned out great. So I don't even necessarily see the correlation here or understand why Deion would have a preference when it comes to quarterbacks about whether or not they live in a two-parent home. I don't even really understand that. But Deion Sanders' own son, who's his current quarterback, who was his quarterback at Jackson State and who he brought with him now to Colorado, did not come from a two-parent home. Deion Sanders was divorced in 2011. 2011. When Shedeur Sanders, that was 12 years ago? Shedeur Sanders would have been 9 years old, 9 years old. So Shedeur Sanders himself was not raised in a two-parent household, yet he's Deion Sanders' quarterback. His own son. So my question and kind of point of this video is not to debate whether or not Deion's a good coach or whether or not Shedeur Sanders is a good quarterback, or the pros and cons of two-parent households versus one-parent households. It's not even really the point of this video. My point of this video, my question to you, and you can let me know in the comments section, what do you think it matters at all whether a college quarterback came from a two-parent household or not? And do you think Deion Sanders should have kind of worded these things the way he did, given the fact that his current quarterback does not fit his own standards that he's laid out for his quarterbacks of the future? According to Deion Sanders, when it comes to recruiting, he's looking for quarterbacks to come from two-parent households. But his current QB does not. Of course, current QB, which just happens to be his son. Anyway, very interesting. If you don't know anything at all about college football and you're ignorant and damn near retarded, make sure, and you're only watching this video because it has the name Deion Sanders in the title and it's easy to tell who you are, don't forget to tell me down below how racist I am. Have a terrible day.